Make sure we're going live here. Let's rock and roll. How we doing? Let's rock. Let's roll. Let's have a good time. That's all I'm going to say. All right, bringing it back. The 5 o'clock Friday free vibe, baby. Bringing it back in full effect. There's so much going on that I had to share it with everybody. Had to let some people know what is going on. And it's funny, I've had a lot of conversations in the past couple of days. First of all, happy Friday. But I've had a lot of conversations in the past couple of weeks. A lot is going on with the media career, with banking, and have some new stuff that we're developing and working on. It's absolutely amazing. And a lot of people have been asking me, how'd you get started in doing media? How'd you get started in doing TV? And how'd you get started in this? And I always go back to, I just started doing the 5 o'clock Friday free vibe. And then yesterday, and I explained to people what that is. For those of you that just tuning in, that hadn't seen me when I'll be out going crazy doing the 5 o'clock Friday free vibe, welcome back. But it's funny how, I used to do it all the time. And now, I'm going to have to start doing it again and again and again and again because it's great. And there's so much going on. And I need to have this discipline of sharing it with you every Friday at 5 o'clock. So let me explain to you what's going on. A couple of major announcements. First of all, the real estate show. Those of you know, I got into doing definitely Miami, created my own Roku channel. I was distributing and rebroadcasting other people's shows as well, based here in Miami. But big things are happening. Last year, I started doing this real estate show. We did 6 episodes. I shopped it around, blah, blah, blah. It just got licensed 2 weeks ago by Amazon Prime. So I'm so super stoked about that. And then as if that wasn't good enough, as if that wasn't the coolest thing, I started talking to a couple of different news agencies. And lo and behold, Optimum Media now has agreed to do 10 episodes with me. I'm going to be producing it and distributing it directly to Optimum on News 12. It'll be phenomenal. Going to be doing 10 episodes in Long Island featuring businesses and other places in Miami. It's going to be absolutely a great show. It's going to be so much fun to go out and do everything. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So if you are a realtor, if your family's a realtor and you're fully qualified, please make sure you get in touch with me, tag a realtor in this, shoot me a DM. Most everybody has got my number or something like that, but just get in touch with me. I'm not hard to get in touch with. We have another partnership going. Our bank is just doing the home team. We've got a lot of great things going on, and it all fits in with real estate, right? So real estate, for those who don't know, my career over the past 20 plus years has been in mortgage financing. So as a executive leadership, started out, loan officer, Ronnie Rano, Ronnie Mortgage, executive leadership. That's how I ended up down here in Miami, beautiful place. But it's been interesting, and I've always kept one foot in the market back home, taking care of clients, taking care of people that I know from back home, and doing things, real estate related back in New York. I've closed loans all over the country: Hawaii, Seattle, Oregon, Denver, Vail, Chicago, Texas, Beverly Hills, Orange County, San Diego. I've closed loans all over the place. We just made a huge jump to an FDIC insured bank, and we have an amazing program. I'm going to be talking about it next week, but it's great because it allows us to partner up with realtors and a few other things. I'll get into it more during next week's show. This week, I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Miami or the South Florida market and what's going on in the market back home, particularly in SFA. I should have turned off the phone. Glenn, I'll call you back, buddy. So here's what's interesting. The main saying, or what everybody always says about real estate, is that it's, location, location, location. And it's so crazy how we hear about all these numbers and everything that people talk about, all over the place, on the news, in the media, social media, whatever. People talk about what's going on in the real estate market, but they always seem to quote national reports. So today I just want to do a quick examination and in comparison between the market down here in Miami and what's happening up in Nassau County. Very similar demographics. Miami's got about 2 million people, 2 million residents. I think Nassau County on Long Island's got like 1.5 million or something. But let's check this out. Let's look at something that really caught my eye. There was and this is what kind of got me thinking today. There was an article in the Real Deal saying that Miami-Dade condo sales dollar volume drops in June to 699 million, which is interesting because when you look at these numbers, you have to like really look at it and see what are the numbers really telling us. And what I really looked at, what I thought was really interesting, was how many total listings are there in Miami, which is about 11,200 total listings in Miami. And interesting is that there's about 4,000 reduced, where the prices were reduced in Miami. I find that to be very, very, very interesting when you see that, almost 40% of the housing inventory in Miami is undergoing price reductions. And I'm going to get into a little bit more, dive into those numbers from the Real Deal article a little bit more, because it's kind of scary. And I always say that you have to look at the numbers to really see what's going on in a market. Delicious. All right. Now, in Nassau, this is the other interesting thing. This is why location when it comes to real estate. In Nassau County, what we're going to see is something that's like so completely different. Okay. In Nassau County, they have about 2,500 total listings right now in Nassau County. So less than 20% of what we have in Miami. And of those in Nassau County, according to Zillow, about 804 are reduced. That's about 30%. So in Miami, we have 5 times the amount of listings, and 40% of them are reduced. And in Nassau County on Long Island, what do we see? We see that only 800 of them are reduced. And when I dove in a little bit deeper, look like the ones that like at the opposite ends of the market, the super high level got reduced, and the super low were getting reduced. I could tell you this: my buddy Matt Chiarelli from Douglas Elliman in Franklin Square, one of my homeboys from back home. We call him Franklin Square's favorite realtor. He had a house listed for sale on right by the park, right in the middle of town. He had it listed for sale for less than 30 days. Beautiful house. He listed it for $825,000, and it's pending already. So less than 30 days, he priced it right, and boom, right away, what happens? It goes directly into contract. I mean, that's amazing. Congrats, Matt. Phenomenal job. We got to feature you when we come up and we start filming the show. Have a good time with it. And what's really, really odd is that, this is why I say you have to look at both ends of the market to really understand the market. So you have to look at all the different areas. What's going on in New Jersey might not be happening in Staten Island. What's going on in Westchester might not be going on in New York City. In fact, I think the Real Deal just said that, deals in, this was the headline today, deals over $100 million are back in New York City. And of course, this is going to lead to the next point I want to talk about. You can't look at what the headline grabbing sales are to really understand, what's going on in a market, because it's really easy to talk about the headline grabbing sales. In Miami today was at Tom Brady, TB12, great quarterback, probably greatest quarterback of all time. Just got a loan for $35 million on his property. That's great. I guarantee you didn't get 7%, or 6%. I wonder what he did get. I got to do a little investigating on that one as well. But what's really, really important, like that's a headline grabbing number. And this is one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, or one of the things that I wanted to kind of share, is that when you look at a headline like this in the Real Deal, saying that condo volume, sales volume in June dropped to 699,000, I believe it's down, and the number of units is down from almost 1,000 units in May to 841 in June, where anybody that knows anything about real estate forecasting, or trying to predict where a real estate market is going to go, what I always tell people is look at are the number of sales going up or going down? If the number of sales are going up, Typically, a couple of months later, the prices are going to come up. The number of sales are going down. Typically, the number of sales going down indicates that the price is going to trail by a couple of months. Real estate is a lagging indicator. Very, very interesting. But then I dove in really, really deep into the numbers. And I was like, all right, so we had 699 million falling from 780 million. Okay. But then if you take out the top sale, I believe the top sale was something like 37 million. If you take out the top sale, that leaves you with about 662 million and 840 units, which leaves the average price at $788,000. This is important because if you see here in the article, right here, they say that the median price is 410,000. Now, why is that important? Because people always like to talk about statistics. People like to throw out numbers. And if you look at what the average is, right? So you take 662 million, divide that by the 840 total sales, and that's going to give you an average of $788,000 per sale. But the median is 410. That is a huge gap. What does that tell you? That tells you that at the top of the market, there are some major sales that are making the average price look much higher. But if you look at the median price is more in line with what the average price of a home is in America. This is absolutely insane. And this is even supported even further by some other statistical data. So if you look at, and again, I like using Zillow. Zillow is easy to use. You could use Realtor. Just look at the information. There were 52 condo sales in the last 30 days in Miami-Dade County, over $2 million. If you take all of them out, the average price goes way down and the median price comes down. So it's all about the numbers. That's all that this is all about. Just talking about the numbers, because the numbers never lie. There's a lot of things that'll lie. The numbers will never, ever, ever lie. And that's the truth. Super happy. Let me bring it back to the TV show. Super happy about getting the show onto Amazon Prime. Really happy about being able to do 10 episodes back home with Optimum and News 12 Plus. So again, if you live on Long Island and you know a realtor, whatever, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Instagram, you're watching on Facebook, just tag or shoot me a DM. Let me know if you know any realtors. Again, they have to be realtors who, are professional realtors, not part-timers, people that do it as a full-time occupation and have at least, 5 to 10 sales in the past 12 months. It's great. It's an absolutely phenomenal opportunity to go out and do what I love, creating media content, creating TV shows, and then also go out and do what I love in the real estate world. I want to share with you now, every week I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to share with you a special property video every single week. I can take a break before we end the podcast. This is a quick one. It's only going to be about 15 minutes. The property video is only 2 minutes. It's an amazing property brought to us by Brown Harris Stevens right here. The property is on one of the Venetian Isles. I think it's on West Revo Alto Drive. Great property. I love the way that in this video, they do the cinematography and then they use the special effects to bounce back and forth. Let's check it out. Take a minute, relax, see what a real $30 million house looks like. Whoa. All right. That was pretty cool. That was actually really cool. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be doing this every Friday. It's only going to get better. It's going to get longer. We'll bring in some guests and bring in some remote guests and maybe some canned interviews. Just want to share it with you. Again, like, share, comment, do what you got to do. You'll have a fantastic, super awesome weekend. I will see you all next Friday.